All right. Hello, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the Q&A with director Santiago Fernandez Calvete. His film, Vurdalak Blood, made its U.S. premiere last night, and unfortunately, because he's in Argentina, he couldn't be with us at the screening in person, as would always be the dream for our film festival, to have the filmmaker in attendance. So we set up this chat with him today so that we could ask him questions and have him talk about the film a little more. And if you're watching right now and you see the YouTube chat, you can ask questions there, or you can hop on the Portland Horror Film Festival Discord server and ask questions in there as well. I'll see them and I'll ask them. But otherwise, I'm just gonna chat with Santi about your wonderful, wonderful gothic, moody, twisty film. So,
Thank you. Yeah, You can ask anything you want.
okay, well, congratulations, first of all, on just making such a beautiful film. Every shot is is composed and lit and colored and crafted in such a great way that just watching the film is a visual treat for the eyes. Who is your cinematographer?
Well, first of all, thank you very much for those words. Yeah, we like to work like that, taking care of every shot as we can, as much as we can. My cinematographer is Manuel Rivela, who also worked in Muere Monstruo Muere, on a film that was screened in Cannes last year, or the other one. And it's a young film cinematographer that is working a lot, and he's very fast. He's very determined. He is a colleague, he's a real partner, and we worked very close. And we had only 4 weeks to make the film, and we decided to no matter what, we were going to taking care of the image of the film, and then every shot must be powerful. Of course, 4 weeks is not enough sometimes, but we try the best, and we are very happy with the result. And finally, the image post-production was made, the visual effects in Argentina, but the color was made in Asia, in a post-production company in Asia, because our co-producers.
Okay, very nice. Yeah, it seems like a number of films are now working with post-production companies in Asia. It's interesting. And it's
Yeah, it is, and it was very, very weird that we made a check of the color online at the same time that the people were working in Asia, and we were watching in our iPads in Argentina and talking to them. It was like, oh, what? I never worked like that before, but it was nice, and it was a great job with the color too.
Nice, very nice. The performances were also extraordinary. Alfonsino Carocchio
Carroccio.
was wonderful. And was it Herman Palacios that played the father? Was so intense and so good, and so just from his manner and the way he looked at things and the way he moved, you got all of the information from him that he was very solitary and very self-sufficient, suspicious of other people. It's just wonderful performance.
Thank you. I'm very happy with the work of the entire cast. Germán Palacios is one of the best actors in Argentina. He's very talented and is a great person. And since I was 20 years old, I wanted to work with him. And it became this movie, the excuse to do that. And I'm very happy with the result. He was... I was very sure that he was going to play a great role, but it was outstanding, And Alfonsina has no... she only worked in one film before this, and in a very small role. And she took this protagonist, and she made the entire work, so professionally and so good that I'm amazed with her. And I write a new film just to work with her. We became friends, and I think she has a great future. Taking in account that this is the first main character she performs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she was excellent. I mean, as the kind of them, like she and her father, kind of the foils to each other. If one or other of them had been any less good, I think the movie would have fallen out of balance. So
Yeah.
she really held her own with Herman's performance. So
Yeah, she
my
was a
compliments.
huge bet. She was a huge bet because she's 20, and it's not so easy to find in Argentina a girl of that age that can play a main character. Maybe at the States it's easier because there are a huge industry about it, but not in Argentina. By the way, she's not from Argentina; she's from Uruguay, but she came to play to work in the film.
Nice. So the story itself, based on the family of the Vurdalak, which is a Russian story. Do you have a fondness for Russian literature, or was this just the vampire story that you wanted to tell?
Well, I was doing a research for another vampire story I was writing, and I came across with a book that has a lot of horror tales, and I found this one and said, it's impossible to believe that this is not a film, because the story and the concept, it was so powerful. I said, this must be a film. Then later, I knew that there was many films, not one, but many, or even TV programs. I think Fear itself has a chapter with this story. There was one in Spain and a couple of films from Italy. And I said, well, because it's the concept is very powerful. A father goes out and comes back, and you don't know if he's a monster or not. That is powerful. So I wanted to make a film with that. And I wrote the screenplay very fast. In a couple of months, I had the first draft, and then I rewrite on that. But the film was start winning a lot of awards that made the film made the production very fast. We built the production very fast, and 3 years later we had it screened in Sitges. It's like, what? It was really fast. Never happened to me something like that with other screenplays.
Wow, that's amazing. Well, I think it's a timely. I think the timing was right, probably, with Hereditary kind of like making it okay for people to put family drama in a horror on screen, and
Yeah.
then same thing with like Midsummer, and there's been other films that have kind of featured that thing. So when we saw this one, that the idea of the family, that's their dark family secret is that if you have a Vurdalak in the family, that they like to feed on the blood of the family members, which is a classic, I guess, metaphor for vampiric and toxic family relations. And Mingsu actually commented in the chat that he asked, how did you come up with the idea of putting this twist on the vampire tale? And can you talk about the theme of family in the film? And he also comments that the vampires literally feed on their loved ones and family, which is toxic behavior, to be sure.
Yeah. Well, what I thought is, agree with you that there are a lot of films now. Well, I don't know if a lot, but many films now that mix drama with horror, and I think that we are storytellers, And I love horror films. I love thrillers. I love fantasy. I love sci-fi. But I'm a storyteller, and there's no reason to avoid mixing genres, and and I think that when you don't work in an industry that you have all the pressure of the budget of the or whatever, you have the obligation, of trying new things, and I feel very free to make the movie. And with this family thing, I work with the cast, thinking it's not explicit in the film, but like if it was some kind of abuse inside a family. It's like, when there is a father that abuse of one of the daughters, and you have the people that believe it's possible, the people that believe it's not possible, then the people that want to kill the man, so the entire family start to break down, because of this monster that maybe it is or maybe it is not inside our family. So that's how it worked, very very smoothly, very I don't know how to say it, yeah, not so obvious, but that was the idea, that to make a drama, a family drama or tragedy, with some elements of horror.
Well, you succeeded. Can you talk about the rest of the cast a little bit? Like the brother and the sister and the younger sister were also really excellent, and of course the boyfriend. But
yeah, yes, of course. Look, the boyfriend, Tom Ciel, is the child of my first film. We became close, and I went to see him at the theater because he played a couple of plays and theater that I went to see, and we were very close, always in contact, and always saying we have to work again. And well, of course, 10 years later, I have a role for you. It's not a kid; it's just a boyfriend. You're a young man now, and we took some photographs. Like comparing how we were 10 years ago and now. It's very funny, and he's very talented too. And then the vampire. The vampire that is in the car, the bad guy, for saying, is an actor that I never knew before this film. We went to shoot a week in Cordoba, which is a province in Argentina, and we have to work with actors from there. And they introduced me this guy. I knew, I watched some things he done before, and it was great. And when we made the fun scene, that was the one in the car, he was very insecure. I don't know why, because he's very talented. And he said how I was all the time. It's very insecure. I said it was fantastic. What I imagined when I wrote the film, what you did that. And he didn't believe me. He said, "Now you're saying that because you want to give me confidence." No, Michelle. Really, I'm positive you made it. And it was very fun to work with him too. Then we have Lautaro, which is the older son, and I watched him in another film made by the same production company, and he was very great. And he played the son of Germán Palacios in another film. So that became curious to me, and said, "Oh well, we'll try to make it again." I watched that film, and I believed them both, and said, "Yeah, yes, these guys are really great." So well, this mostly there are people that I admire because of their works. I watched as much as I can Argentinian films, and I said, it's like I'm taking notes. I want to work with this guy or want to work with this woman sometime. I don't know. The same has happened with Germán when I was 20 years old. I maybe can do it now. I want to work with this one or with this one. Yeah, I know. The cast at the end is the one that tells the story. Is the actor, the actress, not you as a screenwriter, not you as a director. There, and the people must believe them. So it's very, yeah. I like to trust in my cast. So I Yes, I watched films and I watched them in theater, and I worked a lot as much as I can previous of the shooting.
Nice. That's amazing. So you didn't have a casting director, it was just you picking who you wanted to be in the film?
We made just a casting for the main role because, as I said, was very important, of course. But the thing that worked with a so young actress was very difficult to trust if they have no previous works. So we made a casting just for that, but I'll tell you, just to be sure that Alfonsina was the right, because I knew Alfonsina was the right, but I don't know, the producer wanted to test her and try another possibilities, which is okay for me. But at the end, Alfonsina was the actress.
Good. Good. You have good instincts then.
Yeah, and I lose a lot of money making that. But it was okay.
But in the set design, the production design of setting it in the rural area and using all the old cars. I'm not that familiar with how Argentina is in terms of technology, how widespread it is in the country. Is that something that is an accurate portrayal of what rural life is like, or is this amped up in order to kind of displace it from a time?
Yeah, it's that. It's just like that, as you said. Yeah, you can buy a new car in Argentina if you want. And, yeah, but I thought that maybe this old vampire was so romantic that he lived so much and he picked up the best of each age. I like this car. I like this. I don't know, this shirt or whatever. So he can choose. And but the rural thing was just to make the story more like a tale, more like a tale. And we shot some parts of the film near Buenos Aires, which is a great, huge, and modern city. But in the middle of the city, you can find houses like that, and we have to lie a lot because the surroundings are not very far away from the city.
Okay.
And what you're watching when you watch the house is not it's not the front door, it's the back door of a house. And I don't know how to say it. The point of view of the kids, it's a wood that we made in another place, and have to put everything together in addition. It was very difficult, that part, but we made it. And yeah, it's more or less, I wanted to make a tale, even with mystery, with a lot of suspense, and had to be interesting in visual terms. That's why this cinematography, that's why this color, that's why this production design.
Mm-hmm. It's wonderful because the moment when, the whole time I was watching up until you see her phone, and that was the moment where I was like, oh, this is not a period piece. This is set in modern time. And it just kind of shifted everything for me in that moment. Did you think that was going to be the effect?
Yes. And one of the first talk with the first thing that we talked with the production designer was that he said, when I was start reading the screenplay, I read this car that is from the 50s, and then it became the cellular phone, the cell phone, and it's like, it makes some noise in your head. What this story happening? And I wanted that. Yeah. And it was very difficult because when we made the drone shot, all the time were modern cars crossing and so it's all edition there, but there were modern cars all the time. But I want that you were not sure what a period is the film.
Well, it really lends to the atmosphere, and it seems like, I don't remember seeing any like electric lights in the house. Like everything is fire or candlelight. And he always has the shutters closed and
maybe there is one, and you have this heating artifact that is plugged in the wall, but most of it is the sun and these lights with, I don't know, with oil is how you said.
oil lamps.
The oil lamps. Yeah.
Did that make it especially challenging to light the scenes indoors because you didn't have any other ambient light, or was it easier because you could really control the shadows?
Well, I can tell you that with Manuel Rivela, everything it's easy. He's the cinematographer. I was very concerned about the time we had to make this film, because 4 weeks seemed a little less than we I prefer to shoot, of course, 1 or 2 weeks more, like every director in the world. But it was very short time, and we designed the things in such a way that we could work comfortably and with the time enough. I don't know if more time, but time enough to make the things as we wanted. Of course, there are things that we couldn't do. For example, this scene in the ceiling, the time with Natalia goes with a cell phone and tried. Well, at the beginning, that scene is they walked in the ceiling. They found the vampire there. They had to run. A lot of things that we couldn't do because this location we could not go inside the ceiling, with the camera, with the crew, and we had to a lot of things that we couldn't do. So, but we have time enough, and not as I wanted, but time enough.
Well, it's wonderful. There's another. One of our audience members last night said that the look felt very Russian, kind of like the story. Is that something you also were intending, or is that just how it ended up?
I don't know. I think that it has a little bit of Argentina too, but maybe this hat, maybe the Germán Palacios hat is the thing that makes you think you're in Russia at the first beginning, But this house is a classic house in Argentina, and this the wardrobe is Argentinian. It's like could be. Maybe we are not that different with the Russians. I don't know, but I think it's the hat that is the key to the point.
Interesting. Well, it's wonderful. Let me see if let me just make sure there's a couple things that popped up here. Okay, I think I got them all. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't missing anyone's questions. Okay. Is there anything you'd like to share about like any behind the scenes stories or mishaps or funny things that happened while you were filming?
Yeah, the funny thing that happened is that we won an award in Blood Window. I don't know if you know this market, the Latin American market, which is called Blood Window. It is for genre films. And we won an award to go to South Korea, to a NAF market in South Korea, in the Bifan festival. And we wanted to go there with the film shot already done, It's like, so we made a film, and we ended the film and traveled the same week to this market. So I gave instructions to the editor, which was my wife at the time, and said, this is the screenplay, but you know how to do it. So I'm going to travel to South Korea, and you send the trailer so I can sell the film there in the market. So I think that the image will be something like I was in the plane and watching the trailer at the same time, because the plane and the trailer went at the same time. We stopped. We made a stop in Doha, and I watched the first draft and I made some corrections, and then we go with the producer to South Korea, and we get the market at the same time of the corrected trailer, and so that was okay. So we want to sell. We are going to sell the film with this trailer, and we show it, and maybe because of there's a Japanese guy or whatever. Speaking in English, and we are Argentinians speaking in English. So sometimes we thought there was a translation mistake because we said that we already made a film, and they watched the trailer and said, "This is from your film?" "Yes, it's already done. It's completed." And they didn't believe us, and said, "What's the problem with that? It's real. It's true. I made a film." And I said, "No, because your budget here says." $500,000. It's like was so low to the Asian producers because there were projects with $1 million in development, and with half of that we made the entire film. It's like they didn't believe us. They said, "Oh, it's true," and we realized that we were the small guys there, but the image was so powerful that they wanted to watch the film completed, and we get our co-producers there.
Oh, nice. So now is the film, do you have a distributor? Is it going to be released more widely?
Yeah, we are closing some deals now. 108 Media, they are our co-producers, and I think maybe they are our sales agents and distributors. I don't know how they close the deal, but it was the idea. Yeah, but it was the idea, and we're expecting to end these festivals, travels, and all that to release the film.
Nice.
So I was very happy to be at the United States. I'm very happy. So thank you very much.
Yeah, we were. We didn't know that you hadn't played here yet until we saw your form come in with the U.S. premiere. We're like, this is a U.S. premiere of this amazing film. We were so surprised.
Yes, because there's a critic, a guy that wanted to watch the film that was screened in Fantaspoa in Brazil. And I watched the film and said, "This is fantastic. I wanted to introduce some festival, and I know that they're very great." And I'm happy. The only thing that makes me a little bit unhappy is that I wanted to be there. But because, of course, we made films to travel. Yeah. But, well, maybe next time. But, yeah, of course, I wanted to have my film screen at the United States. And if this is the opportunity, is welcome. It's 100% welcome.
Well, we were happy we got to show it on the Hollywood Theater. Is a beautiful 1926 movie palace, and their main auditorium is a Cinerama screen, and so it's curved and 60 feet, and it's just It looked beautiful. It looked beautiful on it, and surround sound and everything. It was like a wonderful movie watching experience.
So you watched the film in a theater before me. That's the.
You haven't seen it in a theater?
Yeah, you watched the film in a theater. Yeah, because of this pandemic thing. Well, but you enjoy it.
We loved it.
Oh, okay.
Everyone coming out of the theater was like, "Oh my gosh, that was so good.
That's
so
important.
Well done and so beautiful." Like that was the top 3 comments. It was like it looked gorgeous. It was just a really well made film, and people were just like, yeah, crazy for it.
Well, that's the important thing.
Good.
That you enjoyed it.
So yes, please keep us informed about if there's going to be a general release and where we can find more about it. Do you have a Instagram or a Facebook where people can
No, that is my weird side. I don't have social networks, I don't have, but the production company does, Aramos Cine, or the film has to have one, or the actors that they are the one that were with that. Okay. Always posting things and that, but you can search for them. Yeah.
Nice. Let's see. Sorry, my thing is not scrolling. Oh yes, Brian wanted to note that like we made a really big deal about the premiere. I don't know if you saw any of the posts that we made, but like we made a big deal that it was the U.S. premiere of this film and that people should not miss it on the big screen. And we had a nice full house last night, so it's been, people are cautious. People are being cautious here about going out too much. But I think there was a number of people that really wanted to experience it on the big screen, so we had a good audience size last night. So
Oh, that's amazing. I want to take a look at what you've done.
yeah. And for people who are watching, maybe watching this Q&A but haven't seen the film yet, you can still watch it in our Eventive portal until Sunday, August 8th. And that's portlandhorror.eventive.org. And it's there. You should watch it and then come back here. Santi, you are on the Discord, so if people have questions later, you can ask them in the August 4th Shorts 10 and Vurdalak Blood text channel on the Discord. And yeah, I encourage you to stop in and see if anyone has questions or made comments, because it's been just like this whole festival has been a really positive experience. And I just like having this Discord server where people can interact with each other and you guys get kind of immediate feedback about your films. That's really nice to see.
Well, I never knew Discord before. My son did, but I don't. And it's amazing. So I have it open all the time, and I'm open to any question that you can write me anytime, and that will be open. So I'm very I the thing that I like is is chatting with the audience or other filmmakers, and to make friends, to exchange opinions and concepts about filmmaking. I think that we learn all the time. So good critics, bad critics, I don't know. It's the same. Everything is to make a better one the next time. And I'm very close to shoot my next film, which will be a Mexican-Argentinian co-production. Maybe if we can at the end of this year. And so everything you have to say, for good, for bad, or whatever, please, now it's the moment, because then it's later. So now it's the moment. Yeah, you can chat me, you can write me, and we can talk a lot.
Excellent. Someone else chimed in with they loved the vampire makeup, the design of the vampire makeup.
Oh, well, that was a great bet too, because at the very beginning, I thought that they could be some kind of cannibals, that with no makeup at all. Mm. And I said, no, I want to make vampire, because this is a vampire story. And so how can we make it different? And I thought thinking about this vampire thing, that sort of disease, like, so that's why they have this thing around the mouth, and it's like, if it's a zombie thing or a vampire thing, but it's more or less the same. It's a disease. You can you can have a sick person in your family, and we tried that, and it worked. It's called attention, and I think it worked.
Yeah, it's especially effective when you see it happening when she's in the car with her uncle or her relative. Then he's trying to hold it back long enough, and then you see it coming out, and you're like, oh, there is something wrong with him. And it's not just, and you realize that it's like a very physically rooted thing. Just nice to see.
Well, I'm very happy to hear that you enjoy what we done, because I made films because I love films, and that's what I do. I don't want to become famous or millionaire. Of course, being a screenwriter, how can you be millionaire? But all the thing that I want is that I make films so anyone can enjoy it, enjoy the same game I enjoy. And all that. And when I go to the movies, I do the same thing, but on the other side. What's your game? What do you want to tell me? Okay, I want to be inside your head a little bit, and that's it. It's just a game. A professional, of course, taking care of everything, but but again, it's like I like the thing that we can play and we can be some sort of child again, having fear or whatever with the story of a vampire. That's it.
So is your next film a horror film as well?
Yeah. I became in Argentina some sort of specialist in writing horror. So I made I wrote a film of exorcism that's going to be announced soon in a very important festival. And I'm not the director, and I'm going to direct another film with Ghost. But it's always horror, sci-fi, thrillers, fantasy. I love horror, as I told you. I love horror, but it's not the only genre I like. So that's what maybe my first film, that is called The Second Death, has horror, has fantasy, has crime, and now it's like a mix of genres that I like, that I love. And I think that if you want to make something new, something different, something creative, maybe it's not the subject, maybe it's not the story, maybe it's the genres you choose to put together. That's a way that I found that is interesting to make something original, if that exists really. But so that's what I make, put some comedy sometimes. Comedy and horror works very well. And I choose another genres, but that's what I think that's what I think you can make something different. Lean yourself. And if you love fantasy, you love sci-fi, you love horror, you love humor, you love crime film, okay, put it together in the same film, and that film will be you. So that's the conclusion, maybe.
Yeah, I love the mixing of different genres in a film, because they all carry with them kind of a preconceived, like you already kind of know when you see the certain things, like, oh, it's this kind of film or it's this kind of film, but then when you mix it up, you're like, oh, it's not what I thought. And that's always
we're very used to tag films. It's horror, it's not. No, this we can add a lot of tags. Vurdalak Blood has a little bit of suspense, because you don't know if the father is a monster or not. You don't know if he's a criminal or not. Maybe it has some sort of crime plot too. It has horror, maybe not that much for my. I think that it's not that horror, but it's more suspense with horror. And that's me. That you have the film. You know me now. You know me.
Well, I mean, I think it's horror. There's the idea that maybe somebody in your family is changed or not what they seem, and you have to be something to be feared. And there's the literal relative in the attic that you hide, that's hiding himself, or in usually Gothic stories you hide the crazy wife or the crazy uncle in the attic. And there's a little element of that when she's looking in the attic for him. And like the running away and the shooting people, and there's blood, and there's definitely horror.
Don't spoil, please. It has horror. It has horror, but the thing that happened is that not all the people enjoys the same kind of horror, and not all the people is scared of the same things. Or maybe if you take one person, maybe is very scared of the more stupid scene, and you don't have to build an entire sequence of horror to scare him or her. It's very subjective, how you enjoy a film. The important thing for me then is the story. That this story dramatically work, and I think that it is in Vurdalak Blood. And then it's horror, then it's crime, then it's suspense, then it's love, a little love, or whatever. But the story has to work separately of the genre.
Oh, sure. Yeah, definitely. And it does. It looks like we are closing in on, we should probably wrap up, but I just want to thank you again for showing us your film, for letting us show it to our audience, and then for being here with us today for the Q&A. It was wonderful hearing all of your experiences and learning more about the film from behind the scenes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm sorry for my English that is not that good, but next time I hope I can be there with another film, because want the experience of watching the films with the audience, talking to another filmmakers, and what else, but maybe next time. So thank you again for the opportunity.
We hope so too. And your English was, I understood you perfectly.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah. With that, everyone watching, thank you for tuning in. This will be posted. So for right now it's unlisted, but we'll make it public later on if that's okay with you. And then people who missed it can still watch it on Eventive. And we have one more show tonight. We've got our closing night, Red River Road and Red Snow. And both of those directors are going to be at the theater with us. And then for those of you watching at home, we were trying to record those Q&As and post them later. So stay tuned for that. And I guess a round of applause for Santiago Fernandez Calvete and his wonderful film, Vurdalak Blood. Yay.
Thank you, everybody. Take care, please. Take care, and we see you soon.